2, Chemognosis, A Shortcut to Mushrooms, is the debut full-length album from German black metal duo Boarhammer. And it's number 2 because their first demo was basically a full-length, and this is very much what they would call an old school black metal record. If you're a fan of Malacarpatan, that's kind of a shorthand for the how far back they're looking, but this is in a different style. The first record had a lot of Master's Hammer influence, as far as I could tell, a little bit of root in some of their novel movements and rhythms, and a lot of that just rolls back to something like Hellhammer, but not bare bones. That's just sort of the skeleton of the experience. And there was a bit of, speed metal and whatnot in there. So you're getting the sense that they were looking to the distant past, but the stylized and performative side of early black metal, probably circa about 1991 or before. Now, that doesn't mean that first record was just that. I think that if you look back to Gillem Neki Occultista, the second Master's Hammer record, there was a folkish, almost alternative rock side to that record that does translate here, where this is very much an Oaken sort of gritty group that feels like they're rooted in more than just black metal, punk or whatever else. And this is not necessarily the kind of thing that looks back and decides to sound like Darkthrone, although that is an easy thing to go look at. So to get an idea of what I mean, we'll cut to a song and we'll show maybe what the band sounds like today rather than before. Now, the first record, the vocals were a little bit more straightforward. I believe both members perform vocals on both records in different ways, and the main vocalist on this record has more of a bellowing a presence to it. There's a little bit more bass to the voice, so that singer, it's not as exaggerated as an early Root record, but it does feel performative. It does feel theatric, and I sort of emphasize that because the way I saw this, this record it's sort of a sordid, hallucinogenic play happening out in the woods, and it's got sort of this, not necessarily something Shakespearean anything about it, but it's got a bit of an attitude to the way that it works out. And there's a bit of punk behind that, the way that there was behind a lot of earlier Slavic or Czech black metal early on. So I see the traditions that are feeding into this, and I like this style of this record in terms of it not really being a riff record, but more of a rhythm record, if that makes sense, and one that dances around a bit. So if I had any real gripes with it, is that it sounds quite a bit different from the first record in some sense, where there was a bit more doom on the first record, and those slower moments were kind of got me into this band a little bit more. When I went back and checked out their discography, I was kind of anticipating more doom metal influences. Instead, we get more what I would say are psychedelic rock and psychedelic folk influences that seep into some of the guitar progressions and refrains in the album. But we get more heavy metal when we trade out some of the doom, and that's usually a good thing. I wanted one kind of doom type song. We get something close to that with a cover at the end, but that's yours to discover for yourself. This record, I mention it and talk about it because it feels like it's an adventure through this, getting to know this band and going out in the forest with them. I feel like there's a charm to it, and it was a pleasure to listen to. It was kind of a strange outlier and something I felt a connection with right away. I really love the art style. I think they present this album pretty well, and they're coming from a place that is realistic and fantastical at the same time. So I really like the presentation of it overall, and yeah, go ahead and check that out. It's out on the 26th of this month. You can check out some songs on the website as well as read my review if you feel like it.
Swallow the fungi, taking the toxin, open day.